to living in Germany.
Living in Germany.
Living in.
What?
Say what? You know, it's like some cheesy. You know, his music's like some cheesy.
I love the music.
Yeah, but it sounds like some cheesy. Remember these documentaries you used to watch in school when they'd be telling you about maybe like Germany or something, and you'd be watching on TV. It's like from the I don't know the 80s or the 70s, and he was like, "What the hell, man?" They had this funny kind of music when they were showing the scenery. You know, they were going on a is it a collage? Is that what do they call it? Montage.
Yeah.
When they're going on a montage and they're showing all the different like buildings and the lake, and you're like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
And you see the guys with the beard. Sorry, what was that?
It fits perfectly then because we're living in Germany.
That's why I picked it.
Germany.
All right, so yeah, we got Black Bond here today. Okay, is he there?
What up, dude?
Well, that ain't Black Bond, man. And then we got Liz, Queen Liz.
Hi, guys.
And we got coming from. We got the person coming right from the Wald. No, the Vald. He's on a country walk. He's on a hike. So if you hear any crunching in the background, it's his foot and it's not his teeth.
Guys, I got my son, Dwight, and my girlfriend, Nicole, with me as well. So
all right,
they're gonna hear everything we talk about.
So we might need to be careful about what we're saying.
Yeah. Talk about women is off the map.
No chance, mate. No chance. No holds barred.
No holds barred. Yeah.
Complete honesty.
Say hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi there.
Hello. Anyway, what we want to talk about today, I believe, is Liz popped it into the group, school systems, and later on I want to talk a little bit about getting a job in Germany because that's also a mission and a half.
Yeah,
so let's start.
Getting a job in Germany is a mission and a half.
It's a more than a mission and a half, man. Especially when you're foreign.
Yeah, well, if you're foreign, you can forget it.
Yeah, that's it. See you.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah. Anyway,
it took me 3 weeks to find a job once I moved here.
Yeah, but you work for the Americans, so it's like you had kind of a little bit of an advantage. But someone like me can forget it when you don't speak German, man. They don't even spit on you.
I didn't speak German.
Yeah, but you was for the Americans, wasn't you?
Yep, I worked at the American military base.
So you didn't need no German? I tried to get a job with the Americans too, and they just refused me.
Really?
Yeah, I said I speak English, but I'm here perfect. It was like, yeah, well, we need like.
Well, they got British military here as well.
Yeah, but that's like far away from where I am.
Yeah, that's a bit difficult to get into as well, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you've got connections.
The British if you're around Kaiserslautern, you've got the 17th headquarters thing at Ramstein, and
British.
They've got British soldiers there. Mm-hmm. They've got Belgian soldiers, Canadian soldiers.
Oh, is it like the what do you call it, NATO or something?
Well, kind of. Okay. But there were lots and lots of. As a matter of fact, one of the girls that worked in my restaurant, I hired her as a supervisor. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She was the wife of a British soldier.
Oh, okay. And she was American?
No. She was actually from Norway.
Oh.
So it's pretty multicultural over there then, yeah?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
So, anyway, so like we were saying, okay, we might as well continue on the job topic because, we've started it now. So, yeah. So what do you need? What do you need to get a job in Germany? So you land here. First of all, you need German. They're not going to employ. Forget it. Come here to Germany, and you're not going to get a job unless you speak German. Unless you go to specialized places where they actually specifically require English as a first language.
That's true.
Well, the thing of it is I kind of like had a more difficult time than most getting a job with the Americans because some idiot at Simbach Air Base told me that I had to have a German work permit to even look for work here. And then once I got the German work permit, they told me, oh, we can't hire you because you got a German work permit, which makes you essentially German. And there's a hiring freeze on local nationals. So
it's just crazy. It's crazy.
That's terrible.
Yeah, but it just so happened that I got a job working in the food mall because they were critically undermanned, and there was a waiver there. So
you got in that way, yeah.
Yeah.
Funny
Actually,
for
and
me,
the thing is, sorry, go
Go
on,
ahead.
Black One. All right.
Yeah, funny for me when I was I mean, I got here in Germany because of a job. Yeah, I mean that's how I didn't come here on holiday or something. I was like actually came here for work, and so it's funny how you mentioned, the army and being able to the military and actually find. I never thought about that at all, considering I had the security clearance because I used to work for the MOD in the UK. But that, funnily enough, was how I actually got the job in the first place with the European Central Bank, because you need to have a security clearance of a certain level. And so, but when I wanted to leave there, I'd been there 3 years. When I wanted to leave there, then it became a problem. Then I needed to sit there and think, okay, because obviously at the European Central Bank you didn't need German, you just needed English. And so when you wanted to leave, then I was like, you know what, I'm tired of this place, man. I need to do something different. Then I realized, hold on a minute, I might need this German. This German seems to be a bit of a problem.
Yeah, it seems to be important here in Germany.
For some reason, it seems to be quite important here.
Yeah. What would have thought?
Imagine that, needing German.
How rude!
Germany.
Yeah.
Why do you need German? Doesn't everybody speak English? I mean, it's why do we have to have this conversation? So
very typical English.
The typical English ones that go on holiday. Of course, they understand English. Just shout louder.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, there you go.
I got into a discussion one time. I was in there was a store in Kaiserslautern back in the day called Hatties. It was a department store for clothing and stuff. And there was this American dude. He was in there saying, "Hey, don't you have any cashiers or anybody that can help me that speaks English?" And the lady said, "I'm sorry, you're in Germany. We have a few people, but their English is not very good." He goes, "Well, how in the hell do you expect people to spend money in here if you don't speak fucking English?" And I was laughing. And I walked over to the dude. I said, "Hey man, where are you from?" And he said, "I'm from Detroit." I said, "Well, let me ask you a question. Can a German come to Detroit and get pissed off because nobody speaks German?"
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. It's not going to work the other way around, is it?
He said, well, American is the universal language. I said, "I think you mean English."
English, yeah.
Right. Yeah, let's get that.
I'm going to start disagreeing. English, not American.
And then I said,
not American.
I said, but what I heard is music is the universal language.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that too.
You know what I mean?
But he was pretty pissed off.
And I said, you're what you're doing is you're being a stereotypical ugly American, and I find you embarrassing.
Yeah, it was
you can't come to people's countries, man, and don't expect to kind of, you have to. I mean, I lived in Spain, I lived in Italy, and obviously here in Germany. You can't come there with your English and expect to be able to, get by. You've got to say, okay, you know what? I'm in their country. I might need to learn. So it's like when you go to France, right? If you start speaking English, you ain't getting nothing, nowhere, no directions,
nothing.
You
can kiss ass. Nobody in France is gonna help you. You got to come out with French.
I've discovered that you don't have to be good at their language. You just have to make an effort, and
that's
they will help you.
That's the point, and that's the same in most countries. It's like, okay, you know what? It ain't correct. His vocabulary is crap, but you know what? He's made the effort. That's good enough for me. I'm going to help this guy out, and that's the point.
Yeah,
that's
been my experience. I didn't have to be good. I just needed to be willing to try, and everybody was really helpful.
Yeah, they're pretty friendly. Then they try and work out at the beginning what you're trying to say, and even now they're like, "Yeah, okay." If I describe something, they get it in the end. They're quite helpful.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
But
just
if you come in like an asshole, they're going to treat you like an asshole.
Yeah.
For sure.
It is embarrassing sometimes being British, because we've got this horrible stereotypical thing, like you said. Like we go to Spain and just shout at the waiters and call them.
Yeah, that is so typical in the south of Spain. When I was there, that was so often. What do you mean you don't understand? Beer, you know? And it's like, this is just wrong.
It's cerveja. It's cerveja.
Cerveza.
Black man, you were saying something before anyway. You was about to get a job at this. You just left the central bank. You was looking for a job.
Yeah. So I was looking for a job, and I was like, you know what? I really, really not need to do this language thing, man. You know, because I had, you know, not being used to kind of like being out of work, and I was like, I knew I was leaving at a certain point. I had to get something else and started to put the feelers out there, but everything required some German, at least at a basic level, you know. Yeah. And it's funny that up until that point in time, I'd been 3 years with the missus and never really bothered with the German, even though I had in-house, somebody there to actually probably help. And it was from then I said, you know what, don't talk to me in English anymore. You're gonna have to talk to me in German. And yeah, I'm not one of these people that can sit down at a desk and do schooling and stuff like that.
Not learning the whole grammar.
Yeah, I'm not into that, but I can learn face to face really, really quickly. And so that's my kind of type of learning. And that is how I kind of learned German. I never picked up a book. I never sat down and went to school.
Did you find it frustrating trying to speak to your girlfriend at the beginning in German?
No, not say frustrating. I found it frustrating, how close some of the words sounded, and
Kirsche and Kirsche.
Yeah, Cook, Gluck, and Kuchen, and Küche.
Yeah. That's Bayern Deutsch, man.
That's like 5 things that all sound the same thing. Kuchen, Kochen, Küche, yeah. Cook mal, and all these things. They're all the same to me. They all sounded. But I've just told you 5 different things that meant totally different things, and it's just crazy. And
this thing with the umlaut,
the umlaut,
that's
exactly. That's the one. As soon as the umlaut is on there, right, the sounding is totally different.
Yeah, I know. And obviously, we're just throwing out shit that's confusing.
Yeah. It's just like, no, they've got to have this
fucks me up still.
Yeah, it's like...
I understand the umlaut, but I can't pronounce it properly, so I haven't put out my name.
It's just got an ooh. It just becomes like ooh, doesn't it now? The you can forget it, right? Even the Germans have problems with, right? And they're born here, okay? Yeah. So I'm feeling I don't give a toss about getting that wrong.
No, I don't.
I don't profess to be anything. Yeah, I have my B1 and my qualification. I think that's pretty decent considering I didn't pick up a book, and it's enough for me to get my naturalization. I can have my German passport with that, and so I'm not really gonna stress about it. So
not gonna study at a deeper level.
Are you applying for German citizenship?
I already have. Yeah, I've already gone through the whole bloody process. Yeah.
What motivated you to do that? Because people are always asking me, "What, you've been here for 27 years? When are you going to get German citizenship?" But it's never even occurred to me to try.
The only reason why I'm doing it is ever since this Brexit came into play.
Yeah,
right? Of course, because that's the only. Yeah, that's the only reason, because obviously England's been in the European Union, so it doesn't matter whether you're England, Spain, Germany, everything's a blank piece of paper. Everybody's on the same level. As soon as this Brexit came into play, I was sitting there thinking, hold on a minute, I've been here 9-10 years. I don't want to have to start signing pieces of paper and making sure that I have to register or get some sort of visa or whatever else. I don't want to be going through all this sort of rubbish when I've been here 10 years. That's just some nonsense, man. And then at the same time, when I looked into it, I was like, during this whole Brexit thing, while this is going on, I do not need to swap the passport. I can have 2. I can be a dual citizen and have.
So you're a dual citizen then.
I can have.
We'll all be dual citizens.
But this is only valid. This is only valid during the whole Brexit. Once Britain is out, then you only can have one or the other.
Yeah.
Well,
so what? Before I did it before, so I've got dual.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I would not have want to give up my British passport.
That's the point.
Costs a lot of money too.
Yeah, I'm not giving up my British passport in no way, and so that's the
Never.
only reason why I wanted to keep both. Even my two boys, they have British passports and German passports.
Yeah.
And they've only been to UK on holiday, but I wanted to do that. A lot of people didn't realize that if you're here and you're British and you have kids over here, the kids are still entitled to have British passports, even though
because
they're born
they're
in
dual
Germany.
citizens as well.
Because and so I wanted to make sure that they have the two passports. Why? Because when they get to 16, 17, 18, whatever, I want to make sure that the options are available to them. Maybe they want to go and live abroad or work abroad or study abroad or something. And sometimes just having the right passport helps. And so I wanted to make sure that they have, maybe they want to go to the UK and study in a university for 2-3 years. I don't need them to have complications because they have a German passport. So having a British passport is something just to at least having your pocket, you can pull out and say, okay, you know what, I'm going to do this, do that. And so, Wayne, get your kids.
I mean, how easy was it? It seems like it's like
easy, bro. It was easy. It was easy. You go through the online application, you send the money, and you probably wait 4 weeks, and your passport comes through.
Really, is that how easy it is? Because to me,
it's got to get it done this year. That's all. You've got to get it done this year.
You have to do it done before December.
Do you think that
that's right? You've got to get it done this year.
I'm pretty sure they'll extend it though. I'm pretty sure they're going to extend it.
Maybe, but you know what? Don't bank on it.
You never know. You never know.
It's the good old Boris.
I'm hoping that they extend it. Yeah. I was hoping that they extend it because they had this 3 months Corona delay, and I thought, you know what? They're going to extend it. But then Boris was like, I don't see why we can't get this wrapped up in July. And I thought, what's wrong with you?
Well, the thing of it is Boris is not. It's not up to Boris because the EU has decided to make an example out of the Brits.
Of
course. They're pressurizing them, aren't they, as well?
Yeah. So they're saying, hey, you fuckers don't have a choice. You're out, because they don't want any other countries to decide that they want to leave the EU. So they're trying to make it as hard as possible for the Brits.
Yeah, so it deters everybody else. Yeah, that's the classic.
So it doesn't matter that Corona is nothing. It's like you said you want to leave, so you're going to leave.
You're out. But then again, I think the only reason Europe would like to extend it because then they get a lot more money from England, and it's worth a lot of money to them that when England stayed a bit longer, maybe like 400 million or something. So they were like, we could do with that change.
Not just that, your whole economy situation since this Corona, everybody's been smashed by that. They all need to be able to dip into each other's pockets.
Yeah.
Right now.
I think England's in a lot of problems once this goes over. You know what I mean? When the Corona's over, man, they're in some real problems. Third world countries facing them. Imagine England, third world country. The Queen's still a queen.
Yeah, in a third world country.
Yeah. Great. Yeah. It'd be a bit like Holland having a queen, but no one really knows about her,
No, we're really the only country in the world that I can think of that has a queen that's kind of present every day, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I know family. Spain has a king and a queen, but you don't really
but
think from them.
I mean, what are their names? I can't even think.
Yeah, nobody don't know. Everybody knows our queen, and she's present every year. She's doing her, Christmas statements, and she does the, she's there for the memorials and stuff like that.
Changing of the troops or whatever it is.
Changing of the guards. It's called changing of the guards that she does. And you know what? Right, for an old lady, she still looks well.
She does.
That was going to be my next question. When is she going to fucking die?
Hey,
she's going to carry on, man. She's good.
Jog on, Butch.
Wait there. We got two pro queens on the show.
Yeah.
No, listen, I don't care. I'm British, man. Don't forget that.
I was trying to. I'm probably speaking from a Prince Charles perspective.
Oh, Prince Charles is a knob. No, Prince Charles is a knob.
He's never
Prince Charles is a knob. No,
he's never ever going to be.
She told him a long time ago, "You're never going to take this mantle. In fact, I'd rather take it to my grave."
It's going to go to William. It's going to go to William.
Of course. It skipped a generation.
From what I understand, according to British law, because he's a divorcee and he's married, he's on his second marriage.
Yeah,
and he's married to a divorcee as well.
Yeah, that's right.
So that makes him ineligible to assume the throne.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know if it's going to that though.
I think it's just William and Kate are going to be the people that everybody, are the people that everybody loves. obviously Harry is out of the picture, but it would be, if William couldn't do it, it would be William's first child.
I think Harry's everybody's kind of favorite, isn't he? I mean,
yeah.
I mean, Harry's the kid, right, that has done everything kind of wrong, and that kind of really dictates or depicts real life people, you know. Whereas you got like William,
the only one in the whole family. I think he got custody of the royal balls because this dude. Yeah. I mean, seriously, he could have had some cushy military job that he wanted to be on the front line, and he went out there and actually risked his life.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, William went in the air. He done the Air Force, right?
He didn't actually fight, though, did he?
He didn't fight nothing. That's the point. Harry wanted to actually get on there, you know. But that's what I'm saying. He's like the real, you know. He's like the people's royalty,
Harry,
you know.
he got down,
you know,
he's
like I said, he's the one that's
he's the guy. He's the guy that's kind of smoked the weed that he shouldn't have. He's the guy that's been to parties, that have wore the clothes that he shouldn't have, broken.
He was
the
wearing
rules.
certain uniforms.
Certain stuff.
And he married a sister.
And then he goes and marries a black woman, right?
I mean,
you know,
seriously.
had curry goat at the wedding and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Can you imagine it? You know, jerk chicken and curry goat at the wedding.
Oh my God.
Crazy going on, you know, and it's just like, I can't believe Harry is the one that's kind of gone, even, you know, where all the family's looking at him going, are you serious, kid? Like pretty, you know, Charles, what's wrong with your boy, man? You know, your boy's
that's not Charles, we think, isn't his father anyway.
Well, we all know that. I mean,
the hair color.
Yeah, it's not just the hair color. I mean, the hair color is one. I mean, Harry's not losing his hair, is he? But whereas William's already lost his.
Yeah,
you know, just like his old man.
It's gone.
So there was always that.
Harry looks like the riding teacher or whoever it was.
That's right. Yeah. There was always that scandal.
We've got all the scandal and gossip on the royal family.
Yeah, all the scandals. I never understood why the Prince Charles took up with such an ugly woman for a second wife, man.
He loved her. Actually, no, I heard that Prince Charles loved her. Yeah, but I've heard that it was always. I think it was always meant to be these two. Though I think Charles always loved her.
Oh yes, they've been friends forever. They've been friends forever. Yeah. But I mean,
he was boning her when she was married to her husband.
Yeah.
You know, and he was married to Diana. They were slapping and tickling and shit.
And exactly. And Diana knew that, and she was just like, you know what? I'm gonna spread my wings. Then he was like, oh, this is not becoming, you know. And so
it's not becoming. It's not becoming.
Well, you know what? The problem was with him. With him, she would not be coming.
Yeah. You're right there. You're right.
Come on, listen, right. As soon as she left him, I mean, Diana was always pretty, right? But as soon as she stepped out, and she became from pretty to being really super hot, right? She was in all the magazines, right? She was really, really. I mean, it's just such a shame what happened to her because she had so much potential. I would love to see how the next 10 and 20 years unfolded with this woman. You know, because all the others, you know, they were nightmares. You know, I mean, the Duchess of York and all these. I mean, I didn't really give a toss about them, but Prince Diana, that was another. Are we going off the subject slightly?
Yeah, we're off the subject. I was going to say, how we get to Queen?
Don't we always?
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to put it back.
We always wander off into something else.
Yeah.
That's because the host sucks.
Wait, no, I'm trying. I'm just letting you guys talk a little bit, you know, because the way I look at it, I'm like, if the topic's interesting, I'll keep it going. But if it's boring, I'm like, okay, cut this. So that's it. It's interesting. Anyway, we're going back to obviously getting the job in Germany and working here. So we've established that getting a job, you need German. What else do you need?
I was kind of lucky.
Oh, yeah. Well, how did you get?
I wasn't looking for a job initially because I was only here on holiday. And then I met a couple of English girls that were working in the Irish pub in Koblenz. And they're like, yeah, come in for a drink. And then like, hey, do you want to become a waitress here? And I was just like, yeah, why not? As I kept extending my holiday, I needed money.
Yeah.
And it was fun.
Extending my holiday.
Yeah, like 23 years later.
Yeah.
I'm not still working
holiday.
there. So they actually wanted people that could speak English. They had loads of Irish waitresses and Irish bar staff, and the Germans were coming to the Irish pub to have the whole Irish experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
So including like the drinks and the language. So they tried to speak English, and then I managed to pick up what they were saying when they ordered a drink in German, because it's repetitive, obviously.
Yeah.
And then I could work that much out, and that was it. And I worked there for about 5 years and picked up a lot of German. And also the television was only German then.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
that helped me a lot.
Yeah, just babbling on in the background. I didn't know.
What do you mean, like only German then?
They didn't have any CNN.
Cable television and all that, and I didn't have like a satellite dish.
I see what you mean. You just the normal terrestrial channels.
Yeah,
yeah.
But I was very lazy with the whole language thing, because my husband could speak. My German husband could speak perfect English. But yeah, the job thing, and then after that, I kind of had cleaning jobs because I couldn't go and work in a office or anything, because obviously my German wasn't that good. And then I started becoming an English nanny, which obviously was my advantage. I could teach the kids English or do everything in English, but I'd picked up so much German by then, I could do it in both languages. So yeah.
That was crazy. For me, I mean, I knew that I had to get a bit of basic German. I had, I put my CV out there. I had, I felt like there was nothing kind of coming back for a while. And I spent, I think it was like 4.5, 5 weeks at home where I was just kind of like I felt like a houseman. You know what I mean? Doing all the stuff. I was doing the cooking, the cleaning, the washing. And I was like, you know what? What's going on here, man? This is not right, you know.
Yeah, you needed a solution. You wanted something to happen.
Exactly. And then I got an interview. Obviously, I'd done a lot of contracting, and I thought, you know what, that's probably the easiest way to get back in. And I was always in IT. And then I got a job interview, but it was in Cologne, and I was like, yeah, that's missions away, that's missions away, but beggars can't be choosers, you know what I mean? Beggars can't be choosers. So, and you got to provide for the family. So I went for this interview, and I was like, okay, what's some of the things? Because she's going to ask me, do you speak German, blah, 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 and all this sort of thing. And so I just basically got a couple of sentences ready, just a couple of sentences, I know what she's going to ask, some of the basic stuff, and if I can answer initially for the basic stuff. And I thought, I hope this. I was always hoping when I went for this interview,
you're going to wing it the whole way.
I was hoping that it was a woman, to be honest, because when I have a woman interview me, I manage to always, get their job. No. I mean,
hey, baby.
Always,
I love you, baby.
the odd wink and the other wink.
I'm like that, though. I'm like that.
Listen, of course, because the interview is professional, of course, but there's always this slight flirtation. Chemistry. And I thought, okay, and this woman, she wasn't like a young, kind of 25-year-old or whatever. She was like more like 45, 50, 52, 53-year-old, right? And I thought, even better. Do you know what I'm saying? The older, the better.
Those chicks are kind of starving, apparently. Yeah, because apparently. I don't know. I just heard it. I don't know. These German boys talk funny at work. I don't know.
They're just, it's more flattery for them, if they feel they're having that kind of chemistry. And plus, they're not expecting you to follow anything up on it either, whereas a younger person might be a little bit different. So you got that, in your kind of repertoire. And so I went to the interview. I knew I could tick all the boxes when it comes to all the technical stuff. And then she was like, okay, so how's your German? And then I was like, nicht so schlecht.
Ich kann sehr gut Deutsch. Jetzt.
I was none of that. But she done a couple of lines with me, and she just says, you know what, that's good enough for me. And I was like, I got away with that. And this position was for an interim IT manager. So I used to run all the IT for like Cologne, Luxembourg.
Wow.
And
but then when you actually started work, were you then up shit creek without a passport?
I had to speak.
No.
Speak English.
It's funny because the job still required English. I was dealing a lot with companies based in England. Companies that were based in England were responsible for the IT in Germany, and so I was that link, where they were German, companies English. So I was that kind of that link in between, and that's what kind of worked. And luckily, obviously, everybody spoke English because it was an international company. But I used this as an opportunity to speak to some girls and say, you know what, just speak German with me, so I can try to pick some English.
Well, I do want to ask, did any of you guys ever experience the whole idea of having like in Germany, obviously you get a contract, and it's always the first you get like probation, so probezeit.
Yeah.
And then you get if you get your first contract's like 6 months, and then after that you get like extension to a year. And then you get maybe like you probably never really dealt with this, and I don't think you have either, Liz, because you kind
I
of
haven't at all.
and neither Butch. I think Butch either also too, because he worked for the Americans, then went straight into his music business stuff. So I'm the only one who's probably had really official, crazy German contracts dealings.
No, bollocks! I got a German contract. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but,
yes, probezeit.
Did you get right there?
I got probezeit. 6 months.
Yeah, but look, you get probezeit for 6 months, so probation.
Well, my initial probezeit was when they first hired me. It was an emergency situation, and my job was a temporary job for 30 days.
That's like okay, I better start looking for a new job then.
Yeah.
No, at the end of 30 days, they gave me a 60-day extension. Then at the end of the 60-day extension, they gave me a 90-day extension.
Okay.
And then the personnel officer said, if you need to extend him again, you have to make him permanent.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Okay, so
at the end of these 90 days, he's gonna.
That's what I wanted to do.
That's right. That's the same here. That's the same.
Yeah.
If you extend anybody,
more than
even if you're a contract.
Times.
Exactly. Yeah. The third time you have to make him a permanent member. So, yeah. It's the same. Even if you're kind of a company working for another company, you can't.
Mine have all been.
Extended.
Mine's all been pretty easy going because I've had mini jobs.
Yeah.
So there's no big contract thing going on there. So it's always been pretty easy. And then the English that I teach is kind of not on contract.
Yeah, it's like so basically my first job was basically like, my first job was because I just took anything when I got here. I was like, actually no, my first official job was actually at the airport, but it was like very, very like it was kind of like self-employment. So I had to call them up and say, yeah, I want to come work for you. And then I'll go and work there at the airport doing security, just standing around for like 10 hours or something, and then go home. I did that like 3 times or something. And I was like, okay, that's enough, man. And then I got a job as a cleaner. I'm sorry?
Was that really boring?
I didn't really, I wasn't there long enough to actually get in, it was kind of still fun. I know there was a really attractive girl from Cuba who was telling me all about Castro and that she wanted to go back, but when he's gone, and she was looking, I remember her. She's the only thing that stood out. And there was another guy, he was a charming guy. He was American too, and he spoke German really well. He was always like, speaking out the side of his mouth, like he's like, I don't know, whatever he's trying to do, like hypnotize people with his voice. I don't know, man. Kind of a fool, actually. Yeah. But very, very charming guy, but kind of a fool at the same time. Kind of arrogant. But yeah, so my first job actually in Germany was, that was my first job, but I didn't really do much there. So I always consider my first job being the cleaning job that I did. I have no shame. I needed to get on the ladder. Money. Yeah, I needed to get on the ladder. And I was like, okay, I need to find something that's going to get me to the next stop.
Yeah.
So I did this, and I stayed there and I didn't actually ever really officially leave that place. So I'm probably still actually employed with them. But something happened. Yeah, something happened. The boss left, and then something went stupid, and I just never went back. But then I remember the guy called me like, "You still employed here? Do you want to come back?" I was like, "I'll think about it."
Yeah, you're still thinking.
I'm still thinking about it. Yeah, maybe I'll go back when I'm old. And then I went to Deutsche Post. Like that job was a cleaning job, and cleaning jobs tend to be quite relaxed. So you get the permanent contract anyway. I didn't need you, But my first job was at Deutsche. I mean, my second job was at Deutsche Post, and that's when I really had the first experience with this whole contract extension, and then you get deciding factor. And in most cases, especially for Deutsche Post, you're getting cut and you're gone. And that's what happened to me. And I remember, because I kind of blagged my way in there. She was like, "Do you understand everything?" I was like, "Yeah." I didn't understand nothing though. I really understood nothing. I was like, "What? What?"
Shit.
Yeah. I can do that.
But with your charm and good looks, that's how you got.
That's what it was. Yeah, that was definitely what it was. But it didn't happen when it came to my last extension. though. She just came up to me. She said something in German, and I just kind of understood that I don't have to come in tomorrow. I was like, so much more good
that's
looks.
Quite normal. Nobody wants to be committed.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to commit anybody.
No.
Yeah. But actually, I think they changed that law in it after a couple of years. It was stupid because a lot of companies were abusing it, so they were basically just hiring and firing people.
Yeah, that's not fair.
Yeah, that's not fair. That wasn't fair. So I think now they have to give you a year contract, and only allowed to give you 2. I think after 2, the second year they have to extend you.
Okay.
I believe it's that
I've never come across any of that. Obviously, as I say, I was in and out of jobs after having the kids, and basically just found some really good jobs with like nannying.
Yeah.
And
you're saying the 1 year thing, they give you a contract for a year.
Yeah.
And then they give you another contract for
another
a year.
Yeah. And then after that,
that kind of gets around the 6 months probicite, doesn't it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but then I guess so. Your probicite is no longer 6 months; it's a year.
Actually, yeah, wow, 2 years actually, if you look at it like that, because they'll give you an extension if you was okay.
My point is, if they don't want to extend you after a year,
yeah.
See, the problem is if you've got that 6 months probicite, if you go beyond 6 months, they have to give you a permanent contract. Yeah, they can keep you up to a year without giving you a permanent contract.
Yeah, actually, they can give you up to 2 years without giving you a permanent contract. Like, I've just got my permanent contract. I got my permanent contract.
Well, that's to their benefit, not yours.
Yeah, sure. Well, to their benefit, of course, because they got me.
Well, of course, there is that.
What can I say, man? Everyone's happy to have me.
They've got you. They couldn't do better, yeah?
Yeah, they knew that. They were like, well, they gave me the contract 6 months early because I was so good. And everybody else now is sweating. They've all got, normally they give me like 3 months before or even like a month before, but they gave me 6 months early. They were like, you were keeping. And now I'm causing havoc there. You know, obviously I'm calling everyone out on their racist BS. So it's all good, man. The hide the right one.
Yeah, you're doing all right there.
Yeah. So, another thing, especially I want to ask you, Black Bond. Did you have any problem getting health insurance here? Because that was also a problem I faced when I got here. They wouldn't give me, like when I lost my job at the. Actually, it was before I got the post job actually, and after I lost my job at when I left the cleaning job, and I was trying to get a place because me and my ex-girlfriend fell out, and I was trying to get my own place. So it kind of all came together. I needed a place. I just got offered the Deutsche Post job, the German Post, the Royal Mail equivalent. And I needed health insurance, and they wouldn't insure me at the Sozialamt, I think it was, because I didn't qualify for Arbeitsamt, Arbeitslosengeld. I had to go to social. I had to go to the social, which is more demoralizing. I don't know if you guys have ever had experience with these guys, man. They're the worst. It's looking like a piece of snot on the floor, like.
But Arbeitsamt, you mean the job centre?
Arbeitsamt's a bit better. It's the Sozialamt is the one.
Arbeitsamt I've dealt with. I have. Because obviously in my first job, the health insurance is all inclusive, of course. You see it coming off your payslip. And then when I had the gap where I wasn't working, obviously you have to go to Arbeitslos, the job center, and you have to sign up because you can't have any gaps. Yeah,
exactly.
So if you're not working, even if you got a job but you don't start the job for a month or 6 weeks or whatever else, which is kind of pretty much was my situation. I had this contract where I finished with one, and then I couldn't join another for a period of time, and so then I had to go. So I went to the Arbeits. The job center, and the reason why is because of mainly the health insurance. And because you can recover you. The good thing was as well, obviously, unlike the UK, which is fantastic here in Germany, I must say, if you go to the job center, like if I were to go to the job center in the UK and say, listen, I've got no job, I need to sign on, blah 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 blah. I'm getting something like, I don't know, maybe 80 quid, 90 quid a week or something. That's what it was. Yeah, JSA, 90 quid a week, whatever else. Here in Germany, you get a percentage of what you were earning at your job. Okay,
for a year.
For a year flat. And so, I was collecting like 1,900 a month. Yeah, 1,900. I think the percentage I was getting was
67%.
67%. 60% if you're single, 67% if you got kids. Yeah. And I was taking away something like after tax 1,900 a month, and I was like, are you kidding me? Is this for real? I'm getting I'm not working, and you imagine getting that in the UK, dog. That's not ever happening, Star. You're never gonna happen. And I was like, yo, Germany's the lick, man. I love this. But seriously, I was saying about the health insurance. When I finished with them, obviously I only claimed money for like, I think it was 2.5 months. Then I started the job. Then I was contracting, and then I earned over a certain amount, and so I couldn't. My health insurance had to be private.
Wait, really? If you earn too much money, you have to have private insurance.
Pretty much. Well, yeah. I mean, to be honest, since then up till now, I'm still private. Yeah, I'm still private. Yeah, because well, I think once you go over kind of 60, 70K, whatever else, it's private.
Okay.
Straight away. And so, yeah, I was, privately insured, and then it's a different ball game being privately insured because it's a lot of money you pay out. I think back then it was like 330, 350 I was paying. Now I'm paying more like 500. Yeah, right.
Month.
Wow.
And yeah, 500 a month. Yeah, and then I have my kids on top. Exactly. And then I have my kids on top, right? So I have my 2 boys on top because I'm private. They become private too. Yeah. And so then they obviously throw their money on top. It's not a great deal. But the difference in the health system here, being private and not being private, I found it really, really strange going to the, say, dentist, because I had everything all inclusive, 100% dental care and whatever else. So I'd go to the dentist, I hand my private card over, and then I'd go to the waiting room. Before my ass has warmed the seat, I was being pulled straight in,
Absolutely.
No waiting
and if you get hospitalized with private insurance, you get hospitalized, you get a private room.
Exactly.
And the insurance means that you get the chief arts. You get the chef.
That's correct. That's correct. Yeah, Butch knows, man. Butch knows. Yeah. That's exactly what happens. You get the chief doctor who comes and checks on you, right?
Yeah.
House. When you get this Azubi, man, an house.
It was so funny. It was so funny going into the waiting room, sitting down. You got like 20 people there waiting. Doctors, dentists, whatever else. And you ain't even warmed the seat. The black guy walks in the room, sits down, ain't even warmed the seat, and they're like, "Oh yeah, sir, do you want
you get a black doctor too?"
No, I'm saying I'm the black dude.
Sorry, him as the black guy.
Oh, you're the black guy.
Coming in straight
Black
first.
dude, the black dude goes to the waiting room.
Doesn't even black wait. Doctor, I was like, yo, I'm there.
Doesn't even wait and get out.
Eyebrows are raised, I'm sure.
Eyebrows was a bit more than raised. They were like, what the?
He's just got a footballer. I think he's just a footballer. Hey, trust me, when you're walking around like that, balling, trust me, they just look at you and think, yeah, he's a footballer or he's doing some sort of sports. Trust me, never look and think, yeah, man, he said, we're not even getting into this topic, man. It ain't the topic for today. Anyway, yeah, so, the hospitals, actually, we can talk about the hospitals in the next show or the next show after that.
We can do that.
We better write all that down.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm going to write it down. I'll send it in the group in a minute. What I wanted to say was, so yeah, you get the health insurance. The thing is, what happened to me when I was there, they wouldn't insure me, man. They just wouldn't. I was meant to go to Barmer, and I kept, the guy from social kept sending me to the Barmer insurance, and I was going back and forth. He was all angry, he was agitated. I think he was a bit of an RFD supporter, alternative for German, really, because every time he used to come in, he would be irritated, he'd be shaking, he'd be mad, really like, why are you coming here? You don't need to be here. I can't do nothing for you. I was like, what now? And then I met a girl, a cute girl, by the way.
Those dudes always ask to speak to their boss.
Yeah.
Then they really get nervous.
Yeah, but I didn't know enough German to like I was like, Ich brauche health insurance. Yeah,
you can't do it like that,
and you can't really, you want to blaze them out and go, you were racist Nazi, but you can't do that. You're like, nah, I can't.
He may not have been racist. You just must have thought that you had shit German, bro. Have you thought about that?
Nah, he was. No. Trust me, the way that guy was acting. Because look, I knew a girl I used to kind of knock off and that. And she had a brother who was in insurance, and he got me with TK, Technical Krankenkasse. He got me that insurance in like 10 minutes. It was like, oh yeah, I can do this, no problem. Because what the guy was from Barmer was basically saying was, look, you got gaps and all this stuff. And I was like, hold on a minute, I haven't had gaps because I've been insured from England since then. So what's the problem? And he just wouldn't have it. He kept just sending me back. And yeah, no, we technically.
Yeah, because they need a certain piece of paper, and if you haven't got that certain thing, then you're not going to fit into their system. It has to be done.
Yeah. That's the thing that irritated me more than anything. Yeah. What you've got is there are certain times when you're dealing with these umps, man. You fill out a piece of paperwork, you give it to the person, and then they're supposed to call you. They're supposed to call you in a couple of weeks. You call them up and say, hey, what's up with this shit? And then they go, well, we don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, well, no, I did this, and this. And then they said, well, we can't find it.
Yeah, who are you?
And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean you can't find it? They don't care.
Oh. Okay? I had the very same situation when I deregistered that my son wasn't living here anymore. He was moving to Mines. So I went to the job centre with every single piece of paper that existed over my son, because I've kind of become a bit of an expert.
Yeah.
And then filled in the form, and then a few weeks later I got a really nasty letter saying, like, you know, what's going on, blah, blah. And I went in again. I said, remember me being here? And she said, oh, yeah. She said, we haven't got any paperwork. I said, well, I gave it to you. Yes, I do remember. She said, but we haven't got it. I said, okay, where is it? She goes, well, sometimes things get put in the wrong file, like paper files, Ordner, whatever. And I said, but you scanned it into the computer, yeah? And she's like, no. I was like, huh? You know, this is a day of technology and computers. So she told me I had to fill it all in again. And I looked at her and she goes, no,
That's
it's
the
okay.
thing that pisses me off. You do,
I gave her such a look.
More than once. And then when you do it the second time, it's been like 6 weeks, you know? And so everything that you're waiting to get done, you have to start all over again.
Well, she said, fill it. You're going to have to fill it in again. And I looked at her and she goes, oh, no, it's okay. Just sign it. I think she knew I was like just going to explode.
Knock her out.
And
that happens a lot here.
Yeah, she admitted to me that sometimes your paperwork will end up in Heinz Muller's file, and 6 months down the road they'll find my paperwork. What is that?
I think
they talk around.
You know, the Germans
they're too comfortable because they can't be fired. They can't. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Only the Amters, I guess, isn't it? I guess like the Amters officials.
Where I'm from, you have to perform to keep your fucking job.
Yeah. Well, them, once they have the job, it's like they're in a job for life. It's like the police.
Saying that, hey, you know, here, actually, I just found out the other day, man, you can go off 6 weeks sick, man, with full pay. You can be home at sick, chilling, with full pay. The company, I was like, how did the company survive that, man? Jeez.
Yeah, that's because what happens is, I mean, they have to pay that for the first 6 weeks. If it's any longer, the insurances pay that.
Yeah, the insurance.
The health insurance pays that. Yeah,
that's crazy, man. Yeah. I might exercise that right, man.
Yeah, these
that's a constitution. That is,
man. My son was in school, and one of the teachers was a raging alcoholic. Man, this dude.
Oh God.
I'm serious. He would sit in front of the classroom and be literally drunk off his ass to the point where he's passing out.
Shit.
Right.
How is that allowed?
And then they turned it. The parents turned him in, and rather than fire him, they transferred him to another school.
What?
Oh, superb!
How
is that even allowed?
Oh my God!
Go on, yeah. We don't have to talk about that, man.
That's another subject.
Yeah, we'll do the school topic on the next topic. I know.
Kind of like the Catholic Church, right?
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Actually,
that's moving to another church.
Well, it's actually that's another thing you got to do. You got to pay church tax here, isn't it? Church tax on your wages.
It's another subject.
That's another subject. Yeah. Jesus Christ!
Unless you tell them, fuck that. I don't church, man.
I don't. Yeah. That's it. I had to tell him that you pay church. I was like, nah, you're good, man.
I don't church. I love it.
You're missing a verb there, but I like it.
Yeah,
I like it without the verb. Nah, brother, don't church. You know, I don't church.
Don't church, right? Don't church. All right, man. I think
you can keep that
guys.
church shit to yourself.
Okay.
Listen. Lizzie's jumping off. Black Man, you got anything to promote?
That's all.
Watching your car reviews.
Yeah, you've been watching them, yeah.
Of course, man.
I've got a couple. I've got a couple to still upload on there, man. You can get some joke on there still.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna get you the track too, man. I'll get you that track down too.
Get me that track. I got a Lamborghini, to do next week, so I should have some fun with that. If you fancy coming, come down
next week.
Next week if you're free.
Yeah, I'm there.
I have a Lamborghini Huracan and 2 Porsches.
Are they Wayne? What's something for you, Wayne?
Yeah, something for me. Yeah. No.
In the meantime, you guys can follow me on Instagram.
Well, I can afford the tires.
Listen, I can't afford the car.
I was gonna say,
reviewing it.
I can't afford the tires, man. I can't even afford the tires. Actually, Butch, okay, yeah. What Instagram did you say, Black One?
Sorry?
What did you say Instagram was? I am Black Bond.
Instagram, I am _Black Bond.
Yeah.
The car reviews is raw _car_reviews. Hit me up. Try and follow me on YouTube. Have some fun. Leave some comments.
Okay.
And have a great week, people.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys
Done.
too. Have a great week and a great weekend.
Yeah. But you got anything coming up this week?
This week,
Doing lives?
nothing, man. Nothing. Nothing. I'm just gonna be sitting. I'm just gonna be grilling and chilling.
I might get you on another podcast in the week, man.
Cool.
No, I have
Cool.
two more
there,
weeks
dude.
of work, and then it's officially summer holiday, so I have less work, which is actually, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, you can come visit me then.
I'm coming to visit you guys, definitely.
Great.
Yeah, gonna hang out with your wife and kids, and you, of course.
Great. Hang on.
Cool.
Sounds like a
2 weeks
plan.
ago. I done that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you jumped
It's
came
your
up here,
turn.
surprise visit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Random, that un-German thing just to turn up.
Yeah. That's British.
That is very non-German.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I didn't get the memo.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Then see you guys next week, man. We'll talk again. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Have a good
Alright.
weekend.
See you.
Ciao, ciao,
Bye.
ciao.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.